Things my friend told me and I still stayed. I don't think anyone is prepared for what I'm about to say. She told me I wasn't allowed to say that I was Mexican because I grew up in Washington, not California. She got mad at me when I didn't change in front of her. Asked me in front of a group of people why my boyfriend had so much money. Made fun of a video I made and posted it to her Snapchat story, tagging me. And yes, she started off the video mocking me. I told her what makes me anxious, and then she proceeded to trigger my anxiety and then call me insecure and jealous. Would text me my own TikToks, make a comment about them, or ask a question about it, but she wouldn't like the video or anything. Would show up to my door unannounced and bang on it until I let her in. Kicker is that my building has security. Got jealous if I made a friend that she didn't know about. Had an extreme obsession with wanting to meet my family. Anytime they were in town, she would want to come to dinner with us. Got genuinely upset one time because she found out my dad wasn't in my apartment and she thought he would be there, so she got upset when he wasn't. And that's not even everything.
I'm going to tell you about another super dangerous punishment I received as a gymnast that involved these straps that basically acted like handcuffs. The straps were used to keep us on the bar and we couldn't really let go or get out of them, so they were basically like handcuffs. Leg lifts were a super common conditioning that almost every gymnast did. They weren't a big deal, but my coaches figured out a way to turn them into a torturous punishment. We had these special bars that were against the wall that made it harder to do the leg lifts on, but after the coaches got fed up of giving us 10 to 15 minute handstand holds, this is what we had. We would have 5 sets of 50 leg lifts, and each set had to be done in under 5 minutes. It was extremely difficult to make it to 50 leg lifts, not considering the time limit, but with the time limit, it was almost impossible, and people would just kind of give up halfway. Our coach got very sick of us coming off the bar halfway through the leg lifts, so she gave us these straps. These straps went around your wrist and around the bars and kind of tied you to the bars, but the bars that we did the leg lifts on also had this little place to rest your feet. So when your feet were on the little feet rests, you were fine, you could get out of the straps. As soon as you took your feet off the foot rests and hung there to start your leg lifts, that's when you were locked in. As soon as your feet were not on the foot rest, you were stuck to the bar. So our coach would start the 5-minute timer, and as soon as she did, you had to take your feet off the feet rests. So you would either just hang there and she would add more sets, or you would do the leg lifts as fast as you could your life depended on it, because it kind of felt like it did. The straps would hurt your wrists so bad, and they I don't know, they redistributed your weight or something, because they also hurt my shoulders really bad, and you would get bruises on your back and your heels from hitting the wall. You got 3 chances to at least make one of the 5 sets, and then after that she would add sets. So if you originally had 5, then you would get 6 sets of 50, 7 sets of 50, so on, so on. I remember when she first told us that we had to do this, I was she's lost her mind. She has literally lost her mind. This was one of the only punishments that I was okay at, so I would rather have these than the handstand holds, but some people would rather have the 10 to 15 minute handstand holds than the leg lifts. At least when we finished all 5 sets in a row, she would nod at us and tell us good. Isn't that just so fun and great?
This is your sign to not go for the foreign exchange student at your school. Now that may sound like common sense, but hear me out. You may be thinking oh, they're cute, they have accents, I need a prom date, it'll just be for prom. No, because that's what I did. Worst decision of my life. It's junior year, my first prom's coming up. I need a date, and I'm a tall girl. I'm 5'7", I had heels, and I'm the size of a man. So your girl needs a tall date. Naturally, when there's a 6'5" exchange student on the track team, I think it's a good idea to try to make him my date. And boy, did I succeed at my goal. I didn't know him at all at the time, but my friend knew him, and she was oh, he's not looking for a relationship, So I'm oh, perfect, me too. I literally just need someone to look good to me next to pictures in prom. So yeah, that's all it was supposed to be. That's all it was supposed to be. But my dumb ass fell for this man, and I fell hard. And I promise I was not trying to, it just happened and I could not go back. And it's all fun and games when he's here and you spend all this time together getting to know him and you spend half of your summer with him. But then believe it or not, there is a time where he has to go back home to his country. And no, he's not gonna long distance date you because that's stupid. Don't even try to tell yourself that's gonna happen. Instead, he's gonna wait until he gets home to friend zone you. And it's literally like getting stabbed in the heart with a knife, because you will be in your bed crying for days. Like, that was the most I probably ever cried in my life, because I was like, I'm never gonna see this man again. I'm never gonna see him again. And he doesn't even care. And then, like, literally a month later, he goes back to his ex. So you realize you literally never meant anything to him the whole time, and you just cried all these tears over a man that didn't care about you. And it's like the most embarrassing feeling ever, and you don't want to ever admit it to anyone. But I'm doing this to help you guys out. I'm warning you. If any of you were thinking about it, just don't do it. I'm preventing you from future heartbreak. It's okay to be friends with them. You can befriend them. You guys can get close, but maybe don't go to prom with them, because, you know, that just turns into like romantic feelings that you're not gonna want. And I really regret acting on those feelings, because I spent months with this man. Like, I was with him, texting him all the time. And it would have been fine if we stayed friends. We could still be in contact, but he moved back after everything, and now we have not spoken since like probably August. Like, that is a hard pill to swallow. It's literally devastating. I found my highlighter. I was literally hiding with my hair clips. How did it even get there? Anyways, I would not wish this kind of pain on my worst enemy, so please protect your hearts, girls, and just don't even think about it. Or guys too. Like, if there's a girl exchange student, don't go after her. This is a story that I've been holding on to for a while, because when I first made this account, it was like still fresh. Like, it had just happened, and I was still like processing and healing. That being said, I am healed now, and I'm ready for my next prom date that's gonna destroy me. If anyone's interested, please let me know. You can apply today. My prom is in April. My makeup is done, so it's time to go pretend I know what's happening in football. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
We're talking about the first and last time I ever snuck out. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jamie, you're 20 years old. You only snuck out one time? What kind of life did you live? Like, what were you doing as a teen? Like, why was it only one time? Like, why would you not sneak out again? Like, why were you not living life to the fullest? I'll tell you what. This story doesn't even happen or take place whenever I'm like a teen. Like, really whenever people would be sneaking out, okay? This goes back to when I was like 3rd grade? 2nd, 3rd? No, it was definitely 3rd grade. So, one day, me and my sister were home from school. It was like a Saturday, maybe, Saturday, Sunday. It was a weekend. We didn't have school. My mom was sleeping, and me and my sister decided that it was going to be a great idea for us to leave, right? Now, we lived in like a, I can't speak. We rented a house, and it was like down like this end of a dirt road. And our landlord lived like catty corner of us, right? And he was like a state trooper, like nice people. Like, literally, they had 2 little girls who were like a little bit younger than me, more like my sister's age, or the oldest one was, and then they had a baby. But the like oldest daughter we would always play with, right? So me and my sister sitting there, we're bored as hell, we're tired of watching our DVDs, our freaking Barbie movies, and we're like, what can we get into today? Well, we should have just stayed home, because we were like, okay, I don't know what to do. I'm tired of playing Barbies. So my sister, this was Allie's idea. She'll say it's not, but it literally was hers. Anyways, she decides that she wants to go play at our friend's house. I, obviously, being the amazing big sister that I am, have to follow her. Like, I can't let her go by herself, right? Like, who would I be? Follow behind, right? She's taking the lead, taking charge, and I follow, obviously, because I wanted to go have some fun. We're over there at our landlord's house. We're having a gay old happy time. Like, we're literally living it up. It's great. It's amazing. We're playing in the back, playing with Barbies. Literally everything we could have been doing at our house, we were doing it over there because it was more fun because it wasn't at our house, right? Having a great time. All of a sudden, immediately, I'm pooping my pants. I know exactly what is about to come through that door, and I'm scared. Now, I want you to all guess at what that was. If you guessed my mother awoken from her sleep to find her house empty as hell, you're correct. My mom had woken up realized we ain't in the house, and decided she was going to come and find us. Now, she knew exactly where we were, but we were in trouble. Yeah, we were in trouble for leaving without letting her know. Yeah. So the landlord opens the door to find our mother, bedhead, like obviously still asleep probably, and belt in hand. Now, if you're from the South, or just from a family who would discipline you, you know how terrifying this image would probably be. Seeing your mother with a belt when she was literally just asleep 5 minutes ago, and she knows she wants to be asleep, and now you've woken her up, and she woke up to find you not in the room, and now she doesn't know where you're at, and you're not even in the house, so obviously now you're about to get your butt whooped. Really, I'm literally sitting there, I'm crapping my pants. I've already said that, but I just want you to know how terrified I was. My mom's like, where are the girls at? And they're like, oh, they're in here, like, they're playing, da-da-da-da-da. My mom's like, can you tell them to come here, please? No! They're like, hey, your mom's here. I know. I could hear. I heard her. You didn't have to let me know. I heard her. So my mom is like, we're going home now. Mind you, it's like right there. And she's like, we're going now. She's got the belt in one hand. I think she got maybe one swat in on me. I booked it. Booking it. I'm running fast. Y'all can call me Forrest Gump. I'm running. I was like Forrest Gump after his like leg braces came off. All I can hear behind me as I'm running is my sister's screams because she's too damn slow. She got caught up, and my mom had her by her arm, and she's whooping her. And low key, she was taking the brunt of both of us. Because by the time my mom got to the house, she was already tired. But honestly, that's what she gets because it was her idea. I was not about to get my butt whooped for something that she wanted to go do, and I had to follow her because I'm the big sister, and I would have gotten in trouble if she would have gone by herself. So obviously, I'm running. I ain't gonna get in trouble. I ain't getting my butt whooped. You're getting your butt whooped. You're getting your butt whooped for both of us because this was your idea. Next time, maybe you'll sit your butt home. Some might say I'm a bad sister for that. And you know what? I don't care. Maybe I am, but I don't care. It's her little idea. This was the first and the last time I ever snuck out. I did not sneak out anymore after that. And I definitely didn't sneak out as a teen. And that also credits to, like, my boyfriend, like, me and my boyfriend. Like, I didn't go anywhere. I didn't go to parties. I didn't do anything. Because, like, why? Why would I? My boyfriend's not at the parties. Why am I going? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. That was the only time I ever snuck out. Bye!
Okay, story time. So I grew up super, super poor. And to give you context, my mom was a secretary at an elementary school. And she had 5 kids to take care of. So we had nothing. So I was like super, super, super embarrassed that we were poor. Like I hated going through even the lunch line because I was terrified that someone would find out that I was on free lunch my entire life, even like through high school. Also, I would like have people drop me off at a different street and then walk to my house because I was so embarrassed of my house. I don't know if my friends ever knew how poor I was. I mean, I'm sure they could tell from my clothes though, because the only really clothes that I had were hand-me-downs from my older sisters who were 10 and 15 years older than me. So I mean, the looks I was coming up with, these everyday at school were like bizarre. My only goal in life was to blend in and make people think that I was in the same tax bracket that they were in. But I did have moments where I would like slip through the cracks and like embarrass myself. Like, for example, one time my teacher like called on me and was like, Becca, what's the fanciest restaurant you've ever been to? And I said, with my whole chest, I said, Olive Garden. And everyone, oh, stop, I'm thinking about it. Everyone like burst out laughing. I think they thought I was making a joke. So I was like, yeah, I'm laughing too. I'm really funny. Christmas and birthdays were the hardest times because that is when I was really reminded, like all my friends got all the best new toys and stuff like that. Ugh, I feel like some things are still like too painful to think about, so I'm just not going to. But I knew my whole life I knew I wanted out. I knew I didn't want to live like this anymore. I mean, it was hard. You couldn't even order like an extra side of fries. Like it was just way too hard of a life that no one deserves to live. So I knew I had to go to college. But I knew the only way I could go to college was to get a scholarship. So I did get a scholarship. I went to college. I joined a sorority, even though I could not afford it. I couldn't afford to pay my dues like even one time. So that didn't end well either. And after college, I got a 9-to-5 that found my Instagram and told me that I had to delete my Instagram or make it private and change my name on there to Rebecca because I was posting in bikinis. So I looked the company up on LinkedIn and looked up the guys that had the same job as me, and they were posting bathing suit pictures. So I was so mad that I decided not to take the job. And I started bartending. My parents were so mad at me because I was about to get out of poverty by having like a 9-to-5. But I started making TikToks while I was a bartender. And here I am. And that's my life story.
So, but moral of the story though, being poor sucked. So please be nicer to people, because I've seen both sides now, and it was hard. It's not easy and it's not fun. So yeah.
This is a story time on how I caught my ex cheating on me using my own phone. Now, I want to preface this video by saying this man cheated on me with a fuckload of women, like 30 plus, right? Whether it was over my phone, over his phone, and I'm talking emotional cheating, physical cheating, wherever you are on the spectrum of cheating, he did it, okay? Other thing is, whenever I mention an ex, it's always the same ex, because I've only had one ex and I was with him for an extensive period of time, about 5-6 years, okay? This was maybe about 2 years into our relationship. Now, by this point, I've already caught him cheating on me, speaking to other girls, the whole lot, basically just doing me dirty, right? And 2 years into our relationship, we went to Poland. And this man always had a broken phone. He always had a lost phone. He always had a dead phone. He couldn't get into his phone. He was just kind of relying on me for everything, right? Just to walk him through life, essentially. So we were in Poland, and we were in Poland with two of our other friends who were, basically the girl was my friend, the guy was his friend, and they were also in a relationship. So it just kind of made sense. And we were also there just to sort something out. We were in Poland, and even though, okay, I was an idiot, this was a big trauma bond I got with him after a traumatic experience in my life. I lost my virginity to him. It was just very much a relationship that, it wasn't love, okay? I was blinded, and I excused a lot of shit, including him cheating on me with like 30 plus girls. In my eyes, at this point, emotional cheating was, I still strongly believe this, to be honest, emotional cheating is far worse than physical cheating, because the way men will explain sex to you is it's just sex. It's just a physical act. It's just something that happens in the spur of the moment. It doesn't have any thought or emotions behind it. Whereas emotional cheating, it actually takes effort, time, care, and all of these different things that are hard to get from men. So for a man to be spending his days telling a woman how he's going to take her out, or planning all of these things for them to do together, or saying he wants to have her kids, that pisses me off more than if you just go out and you lip some random thing on a night out. Because why do you care about her? All of the love you're giving her is supposed to be going to me. So what's going on here? Anyways, during our relationship, there was this one girl, the one they always tell you not to worry about, but this one I actually didn't have to worry about because nothing ever flourished of it. She got scared by me. Anyways, there's always the one girl they tell you not to worry about. And she was it for a period of time, right? She had no clue about me, poor girl, until I obviously showed up at her house. But anyways, that's another story. And this guy had been messaging her non-stop, like for a couple of months straight. Like he was serious about her. He wanted to take her out. He wanted to do this, that, and the other. And I caught him talking to her because I went through his phone. And I said, look, she's got to go. It's either her or me. Obviously, he picked me. And in my delusion, I thought I believed it. In my delusion, I thought he was being honest. No, my back fucking foot. He blocked her for a day and then unblocked her and told her, oh, my crazy ex blocked you off my phone. I'm so sorry. She hacked my stuff. My crazy ex, by the way. Yeah. Anyways, we're in Poland now. And we're getting drunk with our friends. We're having a splendid, jolly good time, right? Everyone's having a good little vibe. And the problem is, all of a sudden, this man is on my phone. Now, when he had my phone, in Poland, by the way, when he had my phone, this should have been the first red flag. You know what? The whole relationship was a red flag. But this should have told me, bitch, don't let him use your phone. So this man would use my phone while we were away, or whenever he needed to use my phone when his was broken. And he would log into two things, Snapchat and Instagram, right? And his email. But bearing in mind, I was still like obviously posting activity. I wasn't doing social media, but I was still actively posting on social media at the time. So whenever I would ask for my phone back, this man would log out of Snapchat, log out of Instagram, log out of everything, close both apps, right? So imagine two people in a day sharing a phone constantly. He's doing it. I'm like, babe, I need my phone. I need my phone. I need my phone. Every time, even if I just wanted to Google something or check the fucking time or check the directions to someone, he would log out so I couldn't see what was going on. Why was I so stupid? And I just thought, oh my God, he just wants his privacy because I'm so nosy. No, bitch, you were stupid. Anyways, we was obviously all getting drunk, having a jolly good time, and he's on my phone, but he's like, it's like midnight, which in the UK time is like 11 p.m. He's on the phone a lot, smiling, laughing, kiki kaha, a little bit too much. And in my head, I'm like, babes, business hours are done. So who the fuck is messaging you and making you laugh this much? Because I should be the funniest person in your life. So what's going on? So I start thinking about it, and then I get a gut feeling. Now, girls, you know when you get a gut feeling, you're right. You might not be 100% right, but there is some truth to what you're thinking and what you're feeling. So I get a gut feeling. I'm like, cool, I got a gut feeling. We need to get to the bottom of this because he's fucking doing something. So I'm like, right, I need to get to my phone, but I need to get to my phone in a way that he doesn't have time to log out, because then I'm not going to be able to see what he was actually doing. So I had my laptop, and obviously my laptop and my phone are connected via iMessage. So I get my laptop out, I message my mum via my laptop, and I'm like, Mum, I need you to not text me back and just call my phone immediately, emergency. My mum calls my phone. As soon as she calls my phone, obviously I had to text in Polish, because as long as it's in Polish, he can't see any of the messages come up or anything like that. Or even if he decides to go through my own phone, he can't see it. So I message her in Polish, she doesn't understand. My mum calls me. And as soon as she calls, I snatch the phone. I'm like, oh my God, babe, my mum's calling, it's an emergency. I need to speak to her. Gives me the phone, no qualms. I speak to my mum. I don't even speak to her about anything. My friend, who's Polish, in the house is looking at me like, what is going on? Because I'm just explaining to her over the phone what's happening. So my friend's looking at me like, oh, it's about to go down. I'm like, yes, it is. You better leave. So I tell my mum what's happening. I hang up the phone on my mum, and he goes to take the phone off me. And I'm like, no, babe, sorry, I just need to send my mum something. Look at me, even then, idiot. Why am I explaining myself for wanting to use my own phone? Anyway, so I tell him I need to send my mum something. I don't have to send my mum nothing. In that process, I look at the 2 last opened apps. Now, that was Snapchat. Instagram was closed. I'm like, fuck Instagram. Snapchat's open. This is what I caught him red-handed on. So I go into Snapchat. God forbid if I even went to see Instagram, because there probably would have been so much more. Now, I go into Snapchat. First of all, hella girls' names. But I'm not bothered about all the girls, because if I was to sit here and cry about every single one of them, I would probably end up killing myself. But there is one name that stands out, and it is the name that he always told me not to worry about, and the girl that I told him has got to go. So I click on that. Now, he's smart. He deletes chats, right? So there's not much in the conversation. But the last bit that says is, oh my God, can't wait to see you. I would love to see you. And he replies, oh, well, I land this day at this airport. Why don't you meet me at the airport? Sorry, sir. What? Now, let me set the scene for you, right? I am a white, Caucasian, Polish woman. Yeah? My ex was a dark-skinned, black Nigerian man with dreads. We had the same flight back home. What was you going to do with me when we land back? Was you just going to toss me aside and fucking leg it? Or was you going to pull up to this girl and be like, oh yeah, this is my cousin and this is my cousin? Who's the cousin? Me or her? Because I will box you and she looks like a dickhead. Final point. I don't even know why I said final point, yeah? Is it not a bit embarrassing for you, yeah? This man was older than me by like 2 years. He was older than the girl by like 3 because she was younger than me by like a year. Is it not embarrassing for you, darling? Not only are you messaging this girl from your girlfriend's phone, because you can't even afford to fix your own, you are also asking this girl to pick you up from the airport like you're a fucking bitch. Like you're a little passenger princess. What's going on?